Hey everybody, it's Carol Billing and I'm teaching your Education 201 class. This syllabus review is for both the traditional class that's going to be meeting with me in the classroom twice a week and the online class. So first of all, welcome to the new semester. Very excited about teaching. This is my favorite class. Don't tell my other classes. I do love the 201 though because we get to talk about all aspects of teaching instead of just one particular thing. Okay, so let's look at the syllabus real quick. I'm going to point out just a couple of things. You can read this in your spare time because it's riveting information. But let me just point out the important parts. So we start on the 11th, and then May 2nd is Monday of finals, and that's when really I like to close everything down. So work is due the Friday before, so Friday of Dead Week. Dead Week is the week before finals. That's the last day that I typically take any work, and then we meet. If it's a traditional class, we meet the very first class meeting of the week. And so this semester it's Monday, Wednesday, and so we would meet on the Monday class for the traditional class. And online, your final deadline for all work will be that Monday, May 2nd. So that gives me time during Dead Week to get gives me time during finals week to get your grades done on a good, hopefully, quickly. All right, so we do an autobiographical essay, which I'll talk about a little bit more when we go over the course calendar, and I'll also talk about it in class. But this sort of gives you a summary of what it is, so make sure you read through that. Grading's pretty straightforward. One thing that's very important is once your grades are posted, once they've been in the grade book 2 weeks, I won't change them. So you want to check your grades every week, and I think now most students get a notification. So as soon as I grade something, it's sent to you. Of course, I make mistakes because everybody makes mistakes. So if I input a number wrong or it looks goofy, let me know right away, please, or at least hopefully within the week. So we can. I don't want to go back and do grades in May for February. Like I just can't. I can't remember how far back. So that doesn't work. Make sure you log in and do all the work the first 2 weeks so that I can count you as attending and attend class. If you're in the traditional class, you need to come to class. So I can mark you as attending for your financial aid. That is critical. Please don't ask me to open late assignments. I know things come up, so I do two things. First of all, I will open work early, so you can get work done early, especially if you're in the online class, but regardless, the course is open early, so you can work ahead. So I think it's best to work about a week ahead. That's what I do when I take a class, because I always know at some point in the semester I'm probably going to have a couple sick days. When you teach, you get sick, and so I'm always trying to keep myself about a week ahead of when my classes are, and that just gives me a buffer. So that's the very first change I would make in your mindset about coursework. So if it's possible, work a week ahead. That helps you in case you miss an assignment or you're close to a deadline. You won't ever be close because you'll be a week ahead. Number two, if you miss one thing, it's not life-shattering. There's not one single assignment that's going to fail you in the class. Certainly the big 100-point assignments, you don't want to miss those. But the weekly quizzes and some of the smaller assignments, it's not earth-shattering if you miss them. And education students tend to be very good students, and they want every single point. And so I just want you to take a minute to come on back up here and see it's 90% to 100 is an A. And so I'm by no means saying set your sights lower than that, but what I am saying is if you need to make priorities and you have a 95% and you need to do something else instead of do a quiz, like you have kids and they have something and you have 95% in the class, one quiz is not going to kill you. So make the right choice that balances your life. Okay? So I know that's hard to do. It's hard for me because I like to earn every single point for every single class. And so I totally get that it's hard to do that, but I want to encourage you to balance because you're going to have to do that when you're a teacher and you're wanting to have everything perfect in your classroom to the detriment of your family. You have to learn to balance that too. So it's sort of like practice for that. So long story short, please get your work done early so that we don't have to worry about missed assignments. But if you do miss assignment, It is a small one. Please don't ask me to re-enter it. And if it's a really big one, I have a late work policy, so read through this and you can see it's a 3-step process. Okay, textbooks. These are the 2, and I just in the mail got the 14th edition, which honestly I hate that they update the books every semester. I think it's ridiculous. So what I recommend is that you get on Amazon and rent the Kindle version. You only need to read the chapter once. You do not need to memorize the chapter. Some of the terms in the chapter, if they're new to you, like pedagogy or differentiated instruction or equity, now I can't remember the term. Anyway, if there's a term in the book that's new to you, write it down. And what's even better is that when you get in a Kindle version, you can just highlight it and copy it out into a Word document. You can have a Word document of terms that you're unfamiliar with, and make that your cheat sheet for the chapter. I also give study sheets as well. You don't need to keep this book, okay? And you don't need to spend a lot of money on it. So find the cheap rental e-version and use that. And get used to using e-version books, because that's where teaching is going. You're going to be teaching out of the e-books as well as learning through the remainder of your college and graduate, if you decide to go to graduate school as well. You need to make that change to give up the paper. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but go with the e-version. And so if you've never used an e-version before, 2 of the great benefits are you can do keyword searches. So if you're looking for a specific word, you're going to find it in an ebook much faster because you can keyword search it. And number 2, you can copy paste out in your notes. So or you could even split screen it and type read the textbook and type your notes at the same time. And you're going to have much faster and easier to read notes. Okay, enough on that. Ebooks, ebooks, ebooks. Love them. Every assignment is due at 5 o'clock on Monday. So let's say that together. 5 o'clock on Mondays. Always. All my classes, 5 o'clock on Mondays. And I do that for a couple reasons. First of all, if it's midnight on Sunday, I'm not up at midnight. And so if you have a crisis, I'm not around. The best part is if you set your own deadline as midnight on Sunday and then you have a crisis, you still have Monday morning and Monday afternoon to figure it out or to fix the problem. So what I would recommend is that you make it your priority to have your work done for my class Sunday before you go to bed. And then you always make your deadline. And if there's a problem, you have another day. You have a Monday at least to fix the problem if you don't work full time. So so that's what I would go with on that. So anyway, Monday at 5 o'clock, but I would set my own deadline to be Sundays before I go to bed. Okay, attendance online 2 to 3 times a week, or you come to class, whichever applies. And that's about it for the syllabus. Make sure you always check your CWI email before you come to class. And I believe that's it. Okay, that was 8 minutes. That was far longer than it needed to be. So thanks for hanging with me, and I will see you soon.